Hi, welcome to today's class. I believe you have been following my classes and you are enjoying yourself. Please feel free to ask questions that you don't understand, areas that are not clear. Feel free to comment the questions below. Okay, those videos. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. All right. So today we'll be looking at string data types. We've seen number data type in our last class. So today we'll be looking at string data type. Now it's important you understand the various data types in JavaScript so that you can assign these values to variables when you need them or during the course of programming. Okay? All right. So in JavaScript, the textual data is stored as strings. Okay? All your texts are stored as string. All right? There is no separate type of single character. Whether it's a character or not, they are all what? Strings. Strings can be enclosed within a single quote, double quotes, or backticks. Example are, if I should come down here, so look at my, let's change it to strings because we are working with strings. So I'll say let's name, for example, John. All right, so this is a string with a double quote. All right, so I could also say let's user name is assigned Peter. Sorry, Peter. This is also a string with a single quote. Okay, I can also say let's um, let user is assigned Jude. This is also a string. Okay, so this is called backtick. Backtick. Why this is a single quote? Why this is a double quote? All right. So you can represent your string in these various ways. But basically, single quotes and double quotes are what people use always, often. Okay, and they are basically the same thing, or essentially the same thing. All right. But the difference between a single quote or double quote and backtick is that backtick allows expressions within it, but you cannot use expression inside um, single quotes or double quotes. Okay. For example, let's say I want to embed an expression within backtick. So I could do something like this. I could say let's num1 is assigned 5. Okay, then I could say num2 is assigned 10. All right, so I could come down here and say alert, or before I say alert, let's say let results is assigned num1 plus num2. Okay, now let's alert what? Okay, alert watch, because we are using what? Because we are using backtick, I will say alert the results is, I'll use this colibris results. So I'll say the result is a dollar sign, then I'll put the colibris in between, and I'll call results. Okay, so I can end my backtick there. Okay, now this backtick allows for expression. So if I should open this in my browser, let's see what we have. Say the result is 15. Okay, so you can embed you can embed um, um, expressions within a quote, all right, within a string. Okay, so that's the advantage of using backtick. All right, that's the advantage of using backtick. Another advantage again is that it, you can use it to span multiple lines. All right, you can use it to span multiple lines to aid readability. How do I mean by that? Let's say I want to have a list of names or shops around my vicinity. I could come down here and say, let shops is assigned, or let's say shop lists is assigned backtick shops. Okay, then I could say hallmark um, market square, shop rights. Okay, then I would end my backtick. You see, it helped to span across multiple lines. So if I should come down here and alert my backtick or my shop lists, okay, then we should have the list of shops like this. You can see it, right? So this is another beauty or another advantage of having backtick. If I should change here to quotes, you see, there's a problem. You can't do that, right? So you see that there's already error flagging up. So these are one of the ways to use backtick and all that. So now let's look at how to create multiple lines string with single and double quotes um, instead of using the backtick. So let's say I want to achieve this using backtick. What I can do is simply to just come down here. So I'll just bring this up here, bring this up here, bring this up here. So I'll simply just add, let's put a column. So I'll simply just add our backward slash n, okay? Then I'll add it here too, backward slash n, backward slash n. Then let's alert, let's bring that here. So with this now, I should have my strings on a new line, okay? So backward slash n is used to create new line, or which indicates line break. All right. So whichever one that is convenient for you to use, you can always use it. All right. So so we use backward slash n. So we use backward slash n for new line. If you are using double backward slash is for backslash. Backslash t is for tab. Backslash b, f, and v is for backspace, form feed, and vertical tab mentioned for completeness. All right. So these are the various. So now let's go over to length of a string and let's see how to use the length of a string. So I want to look at the length of a string. So let's say I have this string here, okay, and I apply dot length to it. So we have this string, and I apply dot length to it. So let's see what we have on our browser. So you see it gives me 48. So we can use this to calculate the length of a string. All right. So you want to determine the length of a string. You use dot length to determine the length of a string. All right. So that's that for that. Okay. So you want to determine the length of a string when you are working. You use dot length. Okay. So now let's say we want to access the characters in a string. The characters in a string. Okay. To get a character at a position, okay, we use the at method. For example, I'll just break this down. This is a string, right? Good. So now I want to access this character S or character H. What do I do? I'll simply come down here and say shoplist dot arts. Okay? Then the position of that arts is 1 because it starts from 0, S is 0, H is 1, O is 2, P is 3, S is 4. So when it's counting characters stored in a variable, the position starts from 0, more like an array. All right, so I'll come down here and let's see. So it gives me H. If I change this to 2, okay, it gives me what? O. So this is how you assess the position of a character. What if I want to use this method using a square bracket instead of using the arts? So just put a square bracket of 2. You see, it still gave me 0. So you have the option of either using square bracket option or the arts option. Okay. If the value is minus, it counts from behind. If it's plus, it counts from backward. So let's say we have a situation where I had a string already, shop list. I have shops. But I want to change what is inside this variable. Okay? So what can I do? I can just come down here and say shop lists should be assigned hallmark. So if I should alert shop lists, that's what we have. See now, hallmark. So we can change the string stored in a variable to a new string. Okay? We can change the string stored in a variable to a new string. What about I want to change the character? I want to change the character. Oh, don't worry about that. Let us go ahead and see what we want to do. Changing of case. Okay? So let's see how to change case in JavaScript. Let's see how to change case in JavaScript. So let's say I have this. All right. I want to change this case. I'll just take this off. So alert shop list dot to lowercase. Shop list dot to lowercase. You can see that, right? See, if I come down here and say to uppercase, so therefore we can say that lowercase to lowercase method and to uppercase method are used to change the case of a string in a variable. Okay, so to lowercase method and to uppercase method are used to change the case of a string in a variable. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel so that you would understand every bit of this programming language that you need to know. And don't forget to turn on notifications so that you also get to see new videos as they're being uploaded. All right, so let's look at what if we want to change, want to search a string or a substring. There are multiple ways to search for a substring within a string. The first method is what we call the index of method. Dot index of method. How does this work? Let's change this to class or len. Then let's say I am learning JavaScript. All right. So now, how does this method work? This is the syntax, the general syntax for it. Dot index of substring, comma, position. So this is a general syntax. This is general syntax. Okay, this is general syntax that we use to search for substring. So now, how do we use it? Very easy. Let's say I want to search for the position of learning in this script. What do I do? Then I could just say, let's search this assigned what? Learn, that is the variable name, which is this, dot index of what now? The substring, which is learning. So what we should do okay, sorry, we need to alert search. Sorry, this my spelling is wrong. So let's make it. So we're going to alert search. So we'll say search. Now let's see what we have. You see, the position of search of learning is 6. Let's see. The index value. Who can guess why it's giving us 6? Because if you watch, you have two spaces here. 2, 3, 4. So you have space 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. If I should close this space now, okay? If I close that space now, you see that the position will change to 5. Okay? So it's saying that the position for this learning is what? 5. Is that okay? All right. Why the optional other position actually help us to start searching from a point? Let's say we want to search for letter A in this string. Let's see what we have. It gives us 2, right? Why? You can guess right. Because this is the first occurrence of A in this string. This is the first occurrence of A in this string. What if I want to start searching from this occurrence? Learning. So I should change this position to position 5. Let's see. You see, it's 7. Okay? It's on 7. So you can decide to start searching from a position using the position. All right. So if we want all the occurrence of A to display fully, in that case, we will use a loop. But I don't want to go into that area now because we've not discussed loop, so I don't want to touch about it. So when we get to loop, you understand better how to loop through. So now let's look at other ways we can search through a string. We've seen one of the ways using index of. All right, so we've seen one of the ways using index of. Let's look at other ways like using the includes, start with, and ends with. Okay, so let's say I have the same string Then I want to search through this string to see if a character or a text is within this sentence or within this string. What do I do? I could use include with. Now, but include with returns true or false. All right, depending if the search exists. Now let's check here. If I should say includes learning, you say true. If I should put a different word here, come. Okay, so it's going to include display false. So you can use includes to search through a string, all right, to determine if what is there is actually true or false. Then before you can now continue your what, your coding. You are getting the gist, right? Yes, it's quite easy and straightforward. You can also use the positioning to check from a position or to start searching a string from a position. All right. Then we can also use the start with and end with. All right. So let's say I want to check which of this string starts with, which of these strings starts with jar. So all right. So it's giving us true. Okay. So if we should use the end with, so it starts with, checks the string and returns true if it's true or false. Y ends with the same thing too. So let's say ends with, this should give us false. But if we change this to PT, so it should give us what? True. So that is how this whole thing works. Now let's look at how to get a substrings from a string. So we can use three methods to get substrings in JavaScript. These methods include substring, substr, and slice. Okay, and slice. What does slice do? Slice returns the part of the string from the start to, but not including the end. Example, if I should come down here and say slice 0 to 5, what should we have? Java's S. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is J is 1, 0. A is 1, V is 2, A is 3, S is 4. You see, it did not include the 5 parts. Okay? It did not include what? The 5 parts. So it takes from start to end, but not including the end, all right, of this string. So you use slice to trim, to trim. Okay? The same thing applies to if I want to change this to 3. Now watch. You see that now? Good. So you can play around, try it in your own way, and see how this whole thing works. But what about I don't want to add a second argument. I use 2. It's a start. It will from 2 displays every other character till the end of the string. See what happens. You see that now? Till the end, it displays everything to the end. So this is another way to um, search and get a substring from a longer string of characters. So what about we want to use substring now? We use slice now, right? And we're seeing that slice returns the part of the string from start to, but not including the end. All right. So let's look at substring. What does substring does? It returns the part of the string between the start and end, not including the end too. So it's between the start and the end. This is almost the same as slice, but it allows a start to be greater than the end. All right, so it simply swaps start and end values. Let's take an example. If I should change here to substring, let's say I use 2 and 5. All right, so you see between 2 and 5, that is what it displays. So you can go ahead and learn and check other um, check other examples. Give yourself more tasks and see what you can do with substring and slice. So one will ask, what is the best to use? Now it now depends on browser support or specifications. But one thing I would advise is that slice is more robust and it's easier to use. So slice is way better since they both do the same thing. So slice is way better. So you can use slice instead of using substrings. Okay, you can use slice instead of using substrings. All right, please don't forget to leave your questions in the comment section below, and I will answer it accordingly. I will answer it accordingly. Okay. So this is all we are going to take today on strings. Okay. This is all we're going to take today on strings. So if you have any question, please don't forget to drop it below. And please like and subscribe to this channel. Turn on notifications when I drop the next class. You will be able to see it. Thank you for coming today. See you in my next class. Bye bye for now.